Hey you guys. All right, so this is video 2 in the series of the Rider-Waite card deck. The card that we're focusing on is the Ten of Wands energy. Okay, so the Ten of Wands energy is having no perspective, burdens, and also accomplishments. This is what the photo looks like. These are the three Rider-Waites, and this is another uh, uh, card that resembles the Rider-Waite, but with a different type of art and detail. So that is what we're discussing. I want to go ahead and say my spiel. If you want to support my channel, please go ahead and click the link in the description box or up here somewhere in order to book a personal read with me. Also, you can support my channel by purchasing these cups. Asset, not a liability. Remember, we are assets and not a liability. Also, you can do my actual logo, the Phoenix Empath Intuitive coffee cup, which is on both sides, or you can get a keychain. Also, go to my other channel, The World is Waiting Tarot, where you can get a full Zodiac sign reading or all Zodiac signs on that channel over there on YouTube. So there you have it. Now let's go back to this series, video 2. And I'm not going to number the videos. I'm telling you this because this is my second video making in this series, which I think will be very interesting to see the perspectives of the burdens that cause you stagnation and that cause you to doubt yourself. The card that I focused on, the first video that I focused on, I think was the Nine of Swords energy, which is anxiety. So if you want to go check that out, it'll be in a playlist of the card deck. Breaking down the tarot deck. So here you have it. The first card we have here is, and let me just tell you, first of all, I already told you what the upright meaning is for the Ten of Wands energy, but in the reverse, it's burnt out, it's pressure, and it's feeling overwhelmed. So these are the emotions when this card comes out, these are the emotions that you go through or that somebody is going through that you're either dealing with or your energy when it comes to completion, because again, the burdens can be accomplishments, but it takes a lot to complete this. If you look at these cards, each author has a different feeling when they go ahead and they made this card, just like everybody that watches these views or watches these videos or watches tarot has different feelings and emotions on what they go through. Here you have an empty room with the bookshelf that's actually I don't know if it's empty or not. Is this music? But on the photo it says Kamala the oh, I don't know what that is. If you can make that out. It looks like it says Kamala. And my camera is not going to focus, but it looks like it says Kamala. But here it is. Are those records in the back of there, or is that an empty bookcase? I don't know. You tell me. But this is the completion. Saturn and Sagittarius is what it says. But this is the Ten of Wands energy that this tarot reader was going through. Now, this is another one. This is actually a kid's deck that I bought for a kid that's learning tarot. So the Ten of Wands, this is carrying burdens on your back. So ask yourself, what burdens are you carrying? What burdens or what energy makes you feel like there's no perspective or that there is accomplishments that are about to happen or hasn't happened? Because the way that I see this is that you're taking on too many burdens, and now you need to recognize what causes you or what you feel like a burden is to you, because everybody's definition of a burden is not the same. So on this card deck, you have a girl that's sitting at, it looks like, work, and she's just overwhelmed. She has her phone is ringing, she has all of these pens and pencils and everything on her desk, and they have the gnomes here, and so she's like going through, and it's 10 p.m. at night, and you see the backdrop here. So at some point it's like, is this a burden that you have this job that you're going to every day, that you're getting paid? Because maybe some people aren't getting paid, but this is your perspective on what a burden is to you. You could be working on your own working on your business or working at a company, and it's a difference from working at a company than it is to working at a business. But these are how we set ourselves up in order to feel like we are accomplishing things, right? or we have accomplished things. So to some, this is completion because you've made it. You have a job, or you have this high rise where you can look out the window and visualize and see things. But to others, the workload is too heavy, and when the phone is ringing, and you see the detail here. She's sharpening her pencil. There's a pencil sharpener here, but the phone is ringing, and she's just like, stop. I'm ready to go home. If you look at that. So this is the perspective of the person who did these cards. Now, this is of burdens of being a mother. You have to carry the baby on your back. You have to walk your son to school and also carry the supplies that you need to get through to life while you see the people in the back farming. But the mother's burdens, a mother's burdens or a parent's burden when it comes to taking care of their kids are a little bit different. Those are the things that are necessary as well as work, but those are the things that we're willing to put on our back when it comes to the things that we're going through, or the things that we have to do in order to get this person or these kids to where they need to be, to give them the nourishment, the fulfilling love, the things that all kids and all human beings desire. But some, they lack it. Some people don't have that. So a parent carries their burdens differently, and so that's another thing that you have to kind of look at when you're making a decision on the type of burdens that you're ready to deal with. Remember, and so here, this is just burdens. This is to me the wings of a bird. I don't know, but it could be burdens that you're taking on, so it doesn't matter the burdens. It's just how you see it, right? But then it also matters on how you take care of this. So this is a 10 of Wands, and here it has a garnet crystal here, but it says, I love and care for myself first. So when you learn how to care for yourself first, the burdens aren't so heavy. The burdens aren't so heavy. That means that there's boundaries there. You've set boundaries on how you do things. But as a parent, we have different boundaries. As a individual, we carry a lot of people's boundaries, a lot of people's burdens. And maybe as parents, maybe we have to set the boundaries, or the burden, we have to set the boundaries so that there won't be so many heavy burdens. And that's the reason why, this person here is stressed out at work. Maybe it's why this person here, is having some type of completion, because at the end of the day, they can go and listen to music if that's what they're listening to, or read a book, or be in an empty room that, that has peace and tranquility. You see the photos here. So the way that we all interpret what a burden is to us is the way that we get through life and the things that we do in order to get through life. So again, if the phone is ringing, you're at work until 10, you probably got up at 6 in the morning, and you feel overwhelmed at the end of the day, that is the burden that you carry. So again, with this, there comes responsibilities. With burdens comes responsibility. But in that aspect, if we learn in the beginning to take care of ourselves, so those lessons that we teach our kids on how to deal with their burdens is the biggest things, because again, and how to set boundaries. So a lot of people aren't teaching, and I'm not going to tell you how you teach your kids, but I'm saying a lot of people don't know how to set a real boundary, and therefore they take on more than they can chew, and therefore they take on other people's burdens, and then they become doormats. And that's just the way it is. So your feeling is, or how you feel and how you transmute when it comes to, or how you figure out how to deal with your burdens, is how you have to turn back around and look at the steps that it took for you to get to where you are. And then we have, what is this, a beetle? I'm not sure, but this is a beetle going into a city. Now, if this reminds me, and this card deck is from the girl of the craft, the girl from the craft, I can't think of her name, but this is her tarot card deck. It's kind of, to me, if you ask me, it's just like her interpretation. But look at the beetle. This beetle can cause destruction. I think that's just kind of how you see it. But it's a town right there ahead. So full speed ahead. Take it how it resonates. And this person right here is actually going through and holding and maintaining their garden. And then you don't know if this is a job. You don't know if this is a daily task, if they have their own farm, however it goes, but this is something that somebody is getting things done. Whether you're holding on or not holding on, but whether you're taking on everybody else's burdens, whether you're, taking a burden of a job or having a job, or, supporting yourself or taking care of kids. We all have to learn how to deal with them and see the beauty in each burden that we have. So here it is. If you take this energy on as, oh my God, I have to do this, I have to do that, and I have to do this. Well, this is the energy. But look at the difference in the energies. This girl is picking up her work. Maybe it's work, maybe it's not, but it's flowers. She's seeing the beauty in her burdens. She's seeing that at one point she wasn't able to, work, or wasn't able to take care of a situation. And so people carry their burdens differently on their back, you see? And so that is kind of how I see that. Okay, so sorry about that. I'm important. Everybody calls me. Anyway, so yeah, the way you carry your burdens is the way that you get through life. And so a lot of people, if you ever notice a person who has all this stuff on their plate and then they turn around and say, well, okay, and they're happy after that, it's the way that you learn to carry your burdens. And so that's why we're here to get you to understand, because tarot is not about, how people feel like it's about, oh, wishing ill on somebody. It's about learning. It's about learning how to get through things that you've been through in the past. It's about moving forward and how you do that, if that makes sense. So this is Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou had a lot of burdens that she carried, but it came with her being the person to speak up for and give people without a voice, if that makes sense. Now, some people carry, and all of these cards, just again to let you know, are 10 of Wands from different artists. Some people carry their burdens on their sleeve or in their brain. It just literally, they just keep on trying to find ways to get out of situations. And this to me is a magician who is learning from, the past, and learning how to deal with things and make it look good, using crystals, right? That's just how we see it. We use crystals as energies, and that's a way of, transmuting different types of energy and negativity. Now, here it is. Our burdens can come from a lover, a lover, somebody who is either toxic or somebody who we can't get off our mind, and that's just kind of how you see it. This person will do anything for love or for sex. And so that could be a reason why you and this person aren't connecting. But when you go through this energy with this person, at that point, it makes you feel loved. It makes you feel whole inside. But then what happens when you get out of the bushes? That's another burden that you have to ask yourself. Does that make sense? Now we have a burden with a lady who's coming home at night, shining the light on the door handle by herself. So some burdens, when it causes you to have to work in order to maintain your household or to even have the finer things in life, you have to sacrifice your time. You have to sacrifice your time, and sometimes that's relationships too. So you can choose the type of relationship that you want, or you might not have a relationship. Those are the burdens, and those are the things that we have to understand when it comes to our choices in life. And so, again, we can be carrying these sticks. These are your burdens here, because when we carry other people's burdens on our back, you see the cards are a little bit different here. So this could be significant to your burdens, and you can be skipping into the, skip to this person's chariot, or his wagon has broken, and that doesn't stop him, because this is the way that he makes his money, or this is the way that he may feed his kids. This is the way that a person has to live. And so therefore, just because something happens, the distractions in life, doesn't mean that you're going to necessarily stop and just say, well, there's nothing else I can do. These are my burdens. I'm going to take them on, and I'm going to do what it takes in order to be the voice for myself, right? So here it is. This is the burden of, this could be a husband and a wife, or it could be a mother and a son, or a son and a daughter. But in order to maintain a life, you have to pick the fruit and get it to its location. Same with here. Whether you have transportation or not, this person can be looking at it like, okay, my chariot broke down or my wagon broke down, but does that stop me? No, because I'm happy about the opportunities that I have. So if you use these energies to see it in a different light, right? And learn how to understand what's happening with your responsibilities. And then it was another one. Wait, where did it go? Hold on, I was trying to find right here. Learning how, I love and care for myself first. Learning how to put yourself first. And that's the thing, a lot of us don't put ourselves first. A lot of us take on burdens and we see it good until we feel used and abused, right? Used and abused, literally. And so here it is, just because the delivery location is at the top of the mountain, these people are on foot and they have, the baskets on their back and they got to carry these heavy ass watermelons, doesn't mean that they're not going to do it, because again, this is something they signed up for, or maybe not have a choice to do, right? And then we have the tarot bill. Now this is about a play, The Endless Nights, right? This is a song with the Lion King. Exhausted, burned out, Akuna Matata. And so that is another way of transmuting. I'm sorry, it's a kid's show, but it's a way of giving a message. Akuna Matata, no worries. What's the matter? Nothing. What's the matter with you? It doesn't matter. It was in the past. The past can hurt, but you can either run from it or you learn from it. So you're dealing with your burdens, your responsibilities, or your achievement of goals, heavier workloads, heavier workloads, just like this here. So however you choose to look at the situation, it has to be done. It has to be done, whether it be parenting, whether it be looking at it like the flowers are blooming, I'm making money, I'll be able to do it this way. It's how you look at the burdens, the people that come around. Everybody brings on their own burdens, but guess what this burden does? Because this is not one where you're going to go home with this person unless you guys got a really bomb ass relationship where y'all can have sex in the bushes. I'm just saying, that you're going to have to go home after, by yourself, because maybe this person is that person and that's that. So the way you look at your burdens, the way you deal with your responsibilities, the way you care for yourself takes a huge toll on you, or it will take a huge toll on you if you don't know how to use, to look at it and see the brighter side of it, to look at it in a way of growth, or learning from, how you carry your burdens, how you take care of yourself, how you carry on and take on other people's burdens. So this is ending a cycle. Hard work brings completion, extra pressure in the beginning, but pressure bust pipes. Ain't that what they say? Or pressure brings, makes diamonds, so the way that you look at things, is how you get through it. This person is naked, and and it's just me explaining to you the way the cards everybody has their different perspectives on how they feel the burdens are. A burden can be from a mother. This could be that you have nothing but these wands that's protecting you, which is the burdens that you have made you strong enough to carry no matter what. You see people carrying their groceries in the store, or carrying their groceries up 3 flights of steps, bags bursting, things like that. But this is the place that they had no choice but to move to in order to take care of themselves. Now here it is. The burdens come here. This is the opposite deck. So here it is. This person is carrying the burdens with no hassle. But then when there is a bump in the road, they fall. Or either they don't have this responsibility because everything is dead and there's no work here. So that can be another burden that you have to face when it comes to how you carry your load, and so here it is. This witch here is carrying the brooms to get to wherever, and she's going up a mountain slope. Well, you would think that she would get on one broom and carry the others on her shoulders, but she's carrying her cat. It's the way you deal with things, how you complete the cycle, how you handle the energy that's here. Another picture of a parent, carrying his kids over on his back, but you don't know what he's going through and why his head is down. But he's not letting these kids see him sweat and go through whatever it is that they got going on. They just feel like everything is okay and there's no issues. And that's the love that you give to a child as a parent. You don't want to show your child the things that you go through when it comes to your heavy load. So you try to make everything lovely and beautiful for these kids, and then you turn around at night and you're just crying. And that's where the anxiety energy comes in at, you know? And so I don't know why this card is in here, but this is conflict and competition. So this is your conflict. These are the competitions that you have. This is the Five of Wands energy, and I don't know why it's in there. I thought it was the Ten of Wands, but there you have it. But here's the burdens. The burdens come with completion. The burdens come with planting the seed and knowing that you have to get from one stage to the other, which is normally the end of the, you know, the cycle of learning how to do certain things, you know. So, you know, that's where the fruit comes in at, when you are trying to get through and figure out what it is that you want to do. So if you see here, this kid is watching this mime. Is that what they call it? A mime. And she's admiring this mime. While everybody walks past, you see this man, he's upset. This lady, her head is down. And this other person is like, I'm going to cover my face because of how I feel throughout the day. And she, no matter, they're business people. And she wants to be like this mime. And the mime is looking out, saying to them, I want to be like you. But again, it's like, you have to be able to see how it is. You never know what somebody is doing. Is this a goal that they're trying to achieve? Burdens, struggles, and overextending yourself. Now that's when you learn boundaries. When you stop overextending yourself and stop taking on more than you can chew in order for you to be able to take care of yourself first. And so that's where the struggles come in at, when you look at the burdens that you have. Now, you know, if this is in regards to a job or you having a business, this girl could have created these brooms. And all she had to do was to say, hey, can somebody please help me when it comes to me trying to get these brooms from point A to point B? And sometimes there's nobody over there that can help, you know? And so it says here, and I always read from the lessons that I learned when it made me understand about tarot. It says, the Ten of Wands, share the burden, lighten your load, and learn to delegate. You don't have to do it. You don't need to do it alone. You don't need to do it alone. But sometimes there's a way that you have no other choice but to do it alone. Does that make sense? And so then we have the Ten of Wands here. Now, again, everything is growing. There's a strong person. I don't know if it's a male or female. It looks like a male. But he has to get these up to this castle, which is at the top of the rock. But is he going to skip to Malu? Is he going to do it because he's carrying them? Is it his burdens or is it someone else's burdens? But anyway it goes, this is a job that they signed up for. So do you struggle because you knew the destination that they needed to go to, and yet and still you still chose to do it? Because some people have no choices. But some people get thrown over the edge when it comes to how they deal with burdens and how if they don't complete them the right way. So this is where you get stuck in your head, when you take on other people's burdens and they don't appreciate you. And this is how you're left feeling. You know, you take on everybody's burdens and therefore they throw you to the wolves or to the sharks, you know, and they watch you, you know, struggle. And therefore you know that you have no one to help, but you knew that when you signed up for it. So whether it's a job or whether it's being around people who don't mean you well or who don't want to see you flourish, then that's the energy that happens. And that's when you start to get in your head and feel like, you know what, this is too much of a struggle for me. And then when you go through this, your head is down and you're crying. Just so happen that a lot of them are not men, it's men and women. And so when you have to go and you have to do this job and then go home in the middle of the night by yourself, or go home to your kids after being exhausted, and you're just saying, phone, please stop ringing. I just want to have this completion. I just want to have it where I can be able to just be peaceful. But you got to hold your head up strong, and you got to figure out ways of doing things. And this is what you teach your kids. You know, that whatever you decide to do, love it. Understand that you are only you and nobody else can be you or do the things that you do. That's when you're a voice like Maya Angelou. That's when you take all of the knowledge that you've learned and instill it in your kids. And sometimes we grow up with our kids and they don't realize that because we seem to make everything look so easy and we don't tell them that, you know? And so here it is, whether we're going through sticker bushes, you know, whether we're going through the sticker bushes or whether we're going through, all kind of trials and tribulations, we still get it done. So this person, instead of them using their hands to carry the sticks or the wands, they're using their back and they have it all put up together so that they can make it through the bushes, through the sticker bushes, through the plane, because it's heavy burdens if you don't learn how to deal with this energy. And then therefore, if you don't ask for help or you don't have any help, then therefore you have to figure it out. Remember I said when you're carrying the groceries in the house and everything just falls down on the floor and your phone, everything like that, or you need to make it to a destination and all you have is a sandwich, you don't have anything else to do, but you're taking what's necessary in order for you to get through this, and again, you might have to travel distances. Am I saying that right? In order to get there. Or you might have to do whatever it takes, literally, in order to make your money, to make these things happen, And this could be for your kids. It could be for yourself. Whatever it is, it's the things that you choose to do. But again, the guidance comes from listening and hearing. Those are tarot cards that have fallen down on the floor. Because again, she's looking for completion. He or she is looking to hear something to get them through this hard, heavy time. And so therefore, when the ships come in, that's completion to you. When all of your hard work pays off, it's completion. When you learn that the consequences of your actions, your burdens, what you feel like is a burden is too hard for you to deal with. So you take what might be considered to some the easy way out, but some you might snap. Your burdens might make you snap. And these are the consequences. But if you hold out and you stick to it, right? With old age comes, understanding. It says working too hard or too many hours. The need for balance in life. Let others help you. Health problems due to stress. Because your burdens will cause you to be sick or to make a decision that you'll regret down the line. Just ask for help. And if you can't find the help, then there's the angels there. There's the angels showing you a new way. That means that you have to find the people and the things that complete you, not deplete you. And so, all of the things that you have to do to be able to survive becomes heavy. It becomes heavy. And then you start to change the way you see things, but if you ask for help or you get help, or say what it is that you need without feeling like your ego, like I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, if you have that help. But if you don't have that help, this is where you choose to find the people who complete you, not deplete you. Does that make sense? And so therefore, you don't have to, live in a hole or pull yourself out of things by yourself. And sometimes you do have to, until you find the people, places, and situations that help you complete and see your ships coming in, instead of throwing you overboard and watching you struggle. You find the Timon and Pumbaa of your life that says Hakuna Matata. It doesn't matter, kid. Bad things happen. What are you going to do? You either run from it or learn from it. That's what Rafiki said. But it doesn't matter. Rafiki said that. It doesn't matter. It's all in the past. You either run from it or you learn from it. And 9 times out of 10, when you get into that situation, you're learning from it. And then your shifts start to come in when you transmute your energy to let it go and to understand why you're doing the things, why you're holding your head high, or why it feels heavy for you. Why it feels heavy, because you have to learn how to take those lessons and those struggles and everything and be able to turn around and use it to your benefit. because then you become the magician. You know, something that can only be understood through experience. You know, sorry, that's the high priestess, but the magician using knowledge to manifest change. Because now you're not going to struggle so long, not struggle for so long, unless you keep repeating the same cycle. Does that make sense? So you have to realize where your burdens come in at and why are they so heavy? What are you trying to complete? How are you feeling? What is getting you to this place? Is it a person? Is it a decision that you made from the past? It's always a way to rebuild. There is 365 days in the year, and you can start over every day. You take one good, one bad, and make it good. You figure it out. There's ways to do it, but you can't do it if nobody is working with you as a team. So that is where you have to learn to go into hermit mode, to separate yourself from the people that's causing you anxiety, that people that's causing you to not focus on your self-care. Hold on, I want to find it before we end this. Where did it get? I love. So the heavy burdens come with you learning. I love and care for myself. You're not waiting for anybody to do it. You're going to work late night, early mornings, because you're not going to make yourself sick behind it. And you're not going to keep struggling and living in the hole because somebody doesn't accept you or somebody won't help you. Somebody is trying to deplete you and not complete you. So there you have it. You guys, I love you.